everyone, Jill here with North Texas Vegetable Gardening, canning, recipes, a little bit of everything, and we have had a tumultuous weather week this week in May. Very different week. We started out Sunday and Monday in the 90-degree temperatures, and we stayed very hot all the way through Thursday. Thursday we had some strong south winds at about 30 miles an hour. That night we got some severe thunderstorms. Again, the Lord split those storms and we avoided the hail. Hail hit a little west of here and north of here, but we skirted it. Praise the Lord. That's 2 times in the last week and a half that we have been spared the hail, and I'm so thankful, so very thankful, because hail will destroy your garden very quickly. And then yesterday, after those storms, we had very strong north winds. So they were about 35-mile-an-hour winds, and I was really worried about the toll it was going to take on my squash, specifically because it is on the north side of the garden, and the wind was terrible, and it was all day long, and it was sustained. But we did some other things this week that we want to share with you and show you that's going to help our garden grow even better this year and protect us from the powdery mold and mildew that gets on our leaves. So let me take you around and show you what my husband did, and I'll show you an update on the garden. So let's start out here in my first raised bed where I have my jalapeno peppers and some bell peppers. I did do some fertilizing, and I'll show you what I fertilized it with this week. But that fertilizer seems to help. For some reason, this soil seems to be real dense this year that we get from Living Earth. It's got a lot of sand in it, and so the moisture goes all the way to the bottom and it dries out on the top very quick. So let me show you what my husband did. He went ahead and put irrigation in here, and he's running them right along the bottom of my plants. And so after I fertilized, I'm able to irrigate in here just by turning on the faucet, and I'm going to show you what he rigged. But anyway, this is going to help prevent the mold and mildew, especially on my tomato plants. Let's go check out the main garden. So first, what we have here, as you all know, a couple of weeks ago my husband put in an irrigation system for our trees and our fruit trees and our elderberries, just so we can come out and turn on a switch and get them all watered. And so this is what he did for my main garden. He dug a trench and he put in some irrigation. So we have irrigation for our trees up front, we have irrigation for the garden, and we have irrigation for the raised beds. All I have to do is turn one of those knobs and it will divert the water to wherever I want it. I'm telling you, he's very ingenious about stuff like this, and his contraptions really make me laugh. But anyway, he's great at this sort of thing, and I'm so thankful. So starting out, you can see my squash is doing fantastic. And looky there, guys, he ran irrigation right through my mounds. And this is really going to help with the powdery mildew this year and the mold. So I'm excited about this. I'm eager to see how it helps irrigate these mounds and keep this squash growing really healthy. And looky here, I've got a couple of zucchinis in here. I'm so excited. So I'm hoping that the yellow squash is going to quickly follow, but I have several little zucchinis in there, and my flowers are looking absolutely beautiful. So going on down the line here, you can see some of them are a little pushed over from the north, and some of them are a little slow to grow, and I think that's because we got nipped with that frost, but I think that they're going to recover. Again, I fertilized these as well, and I'll show you what I fertilized all my plants with. Got lots of flowers. Really hoping for a great harvest on these this year. We freeze our zucchini and our squash, and man, let me tell you something. We do a vacuum pack, and whenever we freeze it and we go to eat it 6 months later, it tastes just as fresh as when we picked it. Here's my cucumbers. A little slow to get off, and it's because we've had cooler temperatures this year, unseasonably cool. In fact, it's about 59 degrees here this morning. Very strange weather, but listen, it helps my my plants to kick off. Some of the beets and stuff are doing great, and my root plants. Here are some of my turnips. They're coming up really good. These I had put in a roll, but when we got all that rain, they just kind of scattered, and I still just let them go. But these are doing great. We'll be having some turnip greens and some turnips this week because they're coming in beautifully. Let me see if I can find one here for you. There you go. You can see just how beautiful these turnips are. They're purple top turnips, very easy to grow. You can grow them in the fall and the winter here in North Texas, and you can grow them in the spring. And so these are coming up pretty good. The tomatoes in the main bed are just doing fantastic. I went ahead and put some mulch on top of them because it seems to hold the moisture in, but after the fertilization on these, look how big this one is getting. It is just doing fantastic. And my peppers are even looking a little bit better. They're not looking so anemic, is how I call them, whenever they got the light leaves. But here are my tomato bushes in the main bed. Looky there. One of my bell peppers is doing really good. These 4 tomatoes are tomatoes I grew from seed, and you can see they are doing just fine. Here are my beets. They really have taken off this week, and my husband has gone and irrigated along each side. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, there it is. Each side of all these rows. This is really going to help protect from mold and mildew and save us water and give us some water conservation, because it'll go directly into the soil. This is the Rainbird. The Rainbird brand, and he has been able to go in here and just irrigate each and every row. Here are my green beans. You can see he just ran that Rainbird hose right up next to my plants. This is going to be so great to just come out and turn on the water when I need to, and water at the base of the plants instead of watering the leaves and all, which creates the powdery mildew and mold and other diseases. Let's go on down the row here, and you can see my green beans are rebounding quite well. The ones that I planted after that frost are coming up really well. I'm really hoping that we get a good harvest, and we'll be canning these as they come up. I'm usually able to harvest around Memorial Day is the first time I'm able to harvest, so I'm hoping that that's going to be the same this year, but I'm not sure because, again, we've been quite cool. But looky here. Here's where they're starting to bloom out. So I have some concern on my mortgage lifters up here in the front bed, which is on the west side of the property. You can see he did go ahead and irrigate in here, but I'm afraid that shade cloth might have stunted them a little bit, because they do need quite a bit of sun and they love the warm weather. So my husband has gone and rolled up the shade cloth last week, and I'm hoping to see these rebound. I think that the moisture stayed on them, and you can see they're getting that black leaf, but hopefully with this irrigation system and a little bit of fertilization, they will rebound and come back pretty strong. They do like heat, believe it or not, or at least I have found that experience, where they have done very well here, and we are harvesting very late in the year with these mortgage lifters, and they get very huge. Here's more green beans that I put in the front raised bed, and our garlic is doing good. And look, you can see our turmeric and our ginger coming up over there. We are very excited. This is the first time that we've decided to grow this, because we do eat a lot of ginger and a lot of turmeric. Both are excellent for inflammatory and upset stomachs and just overall immunity support. Here's an overview of the garden, so you can see just how beautiful everything is starting to look and come up. It is so nice to sit out here in the evenings and in the early mornings with my coffee and just do a little bit of praying and just thanking the Lord for the blessings that He has given us. So this is the fertilizer I've been using for the last couple of weeks. It's from Southern Ag, and it's called Power Pack 20-20-20. And it's for your flowers, your roses, vegetables, shrubs, so it's all encompassing, and we'll use this on everything that we have planted. So far we're pretty happy with it, and it does seem to revive some plants that have maybe been shocked from the cold weather or too much water, but this is what we're going to continue to use throughout this year. We also have some fish emulsion that we're trying as well, and we will let you know how that goes. So as you can see, things are coming along quite nicely, and I'm so thankful again that everything seems to be growing. It seems to be healthy, except for those mortgage lifters up front. So I'll be monitoring those and babying those, and we have rolled back the shade cloth again so that they can get more sun. We expect that they'll rebound in the next week or two. So that fertilizer that I just showed you can be used in a sprayer, or it can be used where you just mix it with like a gallon of water, and I think it's like 2 tablespoons per gallon. We intend that to last us all year. It's like an every 7 to 10 day treatment or formula, And so it was well worth the money, and I think that it's going to do us really good this year. And I also think this irrigation system that my husband has put in is going to do us really well too, because it is going to, again, keep the powdery mildew and the mold from getting on the plants. So anyway, it's supposed to be about 74 degrees today. We do have a south wind. It's only supposed to be about 10 miles an hour. I hope that that's the truth. Tomorrow, Mother's Day, it's supposed to be a nice day, and I want to wish all you mothers happy Mother's Day. I know that it's difficult because we're not all able to get together. I'm not going to be able to see my mom, and I'm not going to be able to see my daughter. So it's going to be a different time, and I'm going to miss them a great deal. We are going into week 8 or 9 of working from home. I'm already forgetting the time, but I know it's been since around mid-March. So anyway, we're still healthy. Everybody in my family is healthy. Thank you, Lord. We are praying that you're healthy as well. We ask that if you like what you see on this channel, that you subscribe. We have a lot of great things coming up, especially in June, and we ask that you click the like button. Take care. God bless. Have a wonderful weekend, and happy Mother's Day to all you mothers out there. Take care.